You're listening to a podcast from the Finnish Football Show. Yes, it's the Finnish Football Show. I'm Mark Wiltshire and back with Mr. Keke Mulleri. Hi, Keke.
Terve.
This is a very hastily arranged episode. Keke and I had a chat yesterday, just looking at the upcoming new season, and then realised, actually, next week there's the World Cup qualifiers. Yeah. Keke's got some travel plans. Maybe we should turn the mics on, get in front of the cameras, and I can show off my new glasses to all those watchers out there.
Very smart.
Yeah, well, I was talking to Satu and she said, "You look like someone," especially when I got no hat on or whatever, and very short hair. And she said, "You look like President Urho Kekkonen." Not sure that's a compliment, but I've been called worse in my time, so I'll take
brilliant.
it.
I was going for Austin Powers, mate, but yeah, I can see that Kekkonen like this.
And see, you're making Kekkonen seem more and more appealing all the time. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think about me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have a look. We'll have a look at these upcoming qualifiers again away at Malta and Lithuania. Look at Jakob Friis' first Huuhkajat squad, and then Keke, we'll have a little chat about your travel plans.
Yes, mate.
Before we get started with all that, what's been going on in your football world or Finnish football world last few weeks?
Yeah, I don't know when last time we spoke, but I managed to get across to I think I did tell you I went to see Sutton United and managed to go and see Milamai Mayasari at Sutton United playing for Crystal Palace. That was decent. She's been doing really well since then. That was a tricky game for her that we were at, but she's been doing really well since then. I don't know if that's anything to do with us not being there, but yeah.
Oh, the pressure of that little group of British Finns in the corner.
And we also got across to Dagenham and Redbridge to see the West Ham ladies and see Orna Siren and Eva Nystrom. And so that was good. They got a victory on that occasion. So, they were more than pleased to come over and sign some autographs for the kids and pose for their pictures with the kids. So, yeah, it was all good. So that's what I've been up to. And, yeah, packing my swimming trunks and my sunglasses for sunny Malta, mate, and get the old bucket hat out.
Very nice. We'll talk about that at the end of the show once we previewed these games, I think. So maybe now's a good place to start. And Finland have got these two upcoming World Cup qualifier fixtures. First of all, against Malta. That's on Friday, the 21st of the 3rd at the Ta Qali Stadium. And I looked that up, and apparently that name translates to National Stadium in English. So it does exactly what it says on the tin, the Ta Qali National Stadium in Malta. And that's followed a few days later by a away game against Lithuania. So looking at maybe first, Keke, talk us through the group that Finland are in, just to remind everybody how things are standing, and then we'll have a look at the squad as well.
Yes, mate. So the group's made up of, as you said, Finland, Lithuania, and Malta. We've also drawn Poland, and then there's one of either Netherlands or Spain. That's something to do with a saucy playoff that they've got, and
Nations League playoff or something like that, isn't it?
Correct, yeah. And one of them ends up in lucky punters ends up in the group with us. So I mean, again, it's the way it works, isn't it? You look at that group and you think, okay, Netherlands, Spain, Poland are a really decent side. So, and then Malta and Lithuania should be beatable. So, are we looking at third spot? But anything can happen, and we'll see how we go. But yeah, it's some interesting destinations, especially for myself. I'm gutted to miss out on Lithuania away, but as you said, Mark, that comes just too close to the Malta game, only a couple of days later across the weekend there. But I know for a fact there's plenty of Finland fans are heading to Vilnius, to Lithuania. There's the Huuhkajat and the Zenik and Veteran have arranged a lot of buses to go. So yeah, I'm sure that'll be fun. The party buses from Finland down to Lithuania. So there'll be plenty of fans there. Maybe not as many of us in Malta, but yeah, it's a new place for me. Not been before, so looking forward to it, mate. That's how the group is made up.
Yeah, and these games start on the 21st of March and finish on the 14th of November. Looking at this group, and this may be because of the size of the group, I'm not sure, but in October, November, and December, there's only one qualifying game
Mm,
scheduled. I wonder if those weekends or whatever will be filled up with friendly games as it used to be, I suppose, back in the day before we had Nations League filling every possible vacuum. But I
yeah,
was putting these in the calendar to plan this show because there is a bit of planning, and
it
I
is.
noticed that there weren't these sort of double header games. All right, let's and that is in qualifying Group G,
Hmm.
and at the moment. Before a ball is kicked, Finland are top of the group, and they are alphabetical order.
Yeah.
That's
There's
it.
there's just on your point, mate. There has been a couple of friendlies arranged already. You've got
Right.
away to Norway on the 4th of September, and at home to Andorra on the 17th of November.
Right. Okay. So that
So yeah,
answers that
there's
question. Good.
yeah been a couple of friendlies arranged already, mate.
Okay. And let's have a look then at the squad. This was announced just yesterday as we're recording, and
Yeah.
this is the first time that Jakob Friis has named a squad since he took over as the head coach of the Huuhkajat. And did we see any massive surprises, Keke?
Not massive surprises. There's a couple of ads and a couple of omissions, especially when you compare it to the last Marco Canero squad. But yeah, not huge surprises. I think given the opportunity, we most of us would have punted for most of these players that have made it into Jakob Friis's first squad. But yeah, I can more than happy to run through it for you if you like.
Yeah, I mean, what the thing that I noticed when the graphic was shared in the WhatsApp group was that they had so many defenders that they had to put two rows of players in defense there. There's ten players named as defenders in the squad. So 25-man squad, if I am counting correctly. Um, but maybe it's just a little bit a little bit back heavy in this particular go round. But yeah, go on, run through the squad so that everyone can hear who's there. And there's links to this in the blog post. So wherever you're watching or listening, just have a look down. You'll see the link, and that will take you through to our blog post with all the links that you might want for these games.
Yeah, yeah, the three stalwart goalkeepers who pretty much pick themselves these days. Lucas Radetzky, who's just picked up 50 odd games unbeaten in the Bundesliga until very, very recently. Everyone knows that Bayer Leverkusen have been playing really well. Just got just got put out of the Champions League, didn't they? Just this week, I think.
To Bayern
But
Munich,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yes, that's correct. Yeah, but yeah, you know, unbelievable achievement. All those 50 odd games unbeaten. So yeah, Lucas Radetzky, Jesse Joronen, who's currently bench warming in Venezia. His mate Joel Poyampalo has buggered off and left him, and he's left there warming the bench on his own. Lost his first team place, unfortunately. But yeah, he makes it to the national team. William Sinisalo, who's at Celtic now. Yeah, he's back up for Kasper Schmeichel at Celtic. So they're your three goalkeepers. You mentioned there was quite a few defenders named, but yeah, there's it's interesting because some of the chat that's been flying around on the various WhatsApp groups is just how strong is the defence going to be, you know? But I'll run through who we've got. Robert Ivanov, Eintracht Braunschweig, who are not having the greatest season, but have picked up some points recently, and yeah, Robert has been one of the outstanding players for Eintracht this season. They picked up a couple of wins. They got a draw at the weekend, so yeah, he himself has been playing quite well in a back three there in Germany in the Bundesliga too. Miro Tenho from Djurgården. Daniel O'Shaughnessy gets another call up. He actually was in the last squad as well, if you remember. But yeah, recently back at HJK after some nightmare injury battles. But yeah, Daniel's back, so that's nice to see. Ville Tikkanen from HJK. Yeah, there's
Yeah, lots of yeah. It took him to make the move from Assecore to HJK, play no competitive games, and suddenly he's good for a call up.
That's it. Yeah, you know how it works, mate. You know
I
how it
do,
works.
I do know how it works, and also we're not happy with him for not for leaving, but for where he ended up. So
Well,
we'll cover this in a future episode, I'm sure. But he'll be coming back
mm,
to Seinäjoki for the second game of the season, and he'll probably get a warm reception.
yeah. Well, you know, when he's wearing this blue and white shirt, you got to support him with all you got. So we'll leave it at that.
I will certainly try my very best.
Good man. Leo Väisänen is back from Austin FC. He's yeah, not the first time we've seen him in a while because he was in a squad a little while ago. But yeah, Leo's back. Jeri Uronen, who's now at AIK in Sweden, who I'm really pleased to see in the squad. Tuomas Ollila from Paris FC, who are flying high in League Two. Noah Palace, who's just moved to, I always get it, Valorenga.
Mhm.
Yeah, so he's there. And Adam Stahl, he wasn't in the last squad, I believe. Was it personal reasons? His wife had a baby, something
Yeah.
like that. So he was left out to be by his wife's side. But yeah, he's decided that he's had enough of the sleepless nights and he's ready to join back up with the national team. So and yeah, you know, I'm quite pleased to see Adam Stahl back as well. You know, I think he offers something different. So yeah, good to see. So that's your defenders, mate.
Yeah, and there was 10 of those as we said, and then moving into the midfield, kind of six familiar faces really,
Yep.
and then six in up front. So um, go through those as well. Feel free.
Yeah, so we got Kaan Kairinen from Sparta Prague, who's been doing really good things there. You know, I love Kaan Kairinen, absolutely cracking player. I think that some of that form that he shows for Sparta Prague is starting to be translated into the national team side. So that's a great positive. You know, he really does chip in with loads and loads of assists for Sparta Prague. So yeah, love to see a bit of that in the national team jersey. So good luck to him. Glenn Kamara, who's now at Al Shabab in Saudi. We covered that on a previous episode.
Hmm.
Can't say I've seen much of what he's been up to there. Obviously, keep a little look on the various socials. But yeah, the Saudi league is not one that I'm staying up late at night to to watch.
No, but I think we sort of said last time that although it's sort of out of sight and out of mind, maybe for us, um,
Yeah, there are some players
it's
there. Yeah.
there are some players there. It doesn't necessarily mean that the quality is bad, even if
Lacking. Yeah.
the crowds are not huge as it seems.
Hmm.
So hopefully he's keeping a standard and can continue to do it for the Huuhkajat.
That's it. So moving on, we got Matti Peltola of DC United in the MLS. Our old mate Rasmus Schuller from Djurgården, who's one of the first names on the team sheet. I would have thought. obviously new boss, new head coach. But anyone who leaves Rade out is needs looking at, I think. So
Mm.
good to see Rade in there. Ansi Suhonen from Hamburg, who's another one who's had picked up a couple of injuries. He makes it. Robin Lod from Minnesota United. Um, and Oliver Antman, who is the man of the moment at the minute. He's absolutely flying for Go Ahead Eagles in the Eredivisie. Also, his team made it to the Dutch Cup final as well, or semi-final, I think. I can't remember which one it was. Final, was it? Yeah, the final, yeah. They made it to the Dutch Cup final, which Oliver himself pointed out to me because I noticed that he'd chipped in with an assist in the match and stuck it on the old British Football Show Instagram, saying that Go Ahead Eagles had won and got the 3 points for the Eredivisie. And Oliver slipped into my DM saying that was the cup semi-final, mate.
Well, at least
So
he
I
did
had
it.
to,
At least it was a direct message and not shaming you
yeah,
in front of all
yeah.
of your followers because you
Uh,
got a lot of them there.
so I had to quickly update that post, and much to my embarrassment and shame, I hadn't been right across which actual match he was playing. But congratulations to Oliver, and I'll tell you what, he hasn't stopped there. He's been scoring goals, he's been creating goals, he's been absolutely running the show there for Go Ahead Eagles. So really looking forward to see what he can do against these the minnows of Malta and Lithuania.
And what he doesn't realize is that now he's slipped into your DMs. There's no escaping until he agrees to
There's
come and
no
speak
getting
to us on
away,
here.
Oliver. That's it. Yeah, I'm writing the script as we speak.
Very good. Um, and the rest of the forward line there.
Yeah, so Freddie Jensen, who Jakob Friis will probably be familiar with from FC Augsburg in Germany, Benjamin Chellerman from Cracovia, Joel Poyampala, who's also been absolutely fantastic
Mm,
recently, made a publicised move down from Serie A with Venezia down to Palermo in Sicily in Serie B. As I said, well publicised move to much fanfare. I think we mentioned this last time as well, but he's unveiling, if you like, when he went to the balcony of the stadium. There was thousands and thousands of
mm.
fans there, and he's slipped back into his previous Serie B form and has been scoring goals for fun pretty much. So good to see Jole back among the goals. Then we've got Teemu Pukki, recently of Huuhkajat, and Daniel Hawkins of Lech Poznan in Poland, who's also back in the goals, scored at the weekend.
Yeah, and I was saying about the reaction to Villa Tikkanen moving to Huuhkajat, the reaction to Buru Hannola leaving, and also still Daniel Hawkins, who left us a couple of seasons ago. Ashiko fans are sharing messages and links and things. And the other day, Hawkins played against Hannola, and the fans were sort of following it from afar just because they want to see these players do well. So if Puru can continue the progress that he made, um, that resulted in him getting a call up to the Finnish football show last season, then the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Right, so that's the squad. Anyone that you particularly think is missing, or that you would have liked to have seen in there in this selection? I can see that Richard Jensen is out, but I don't know if he's injured. If that's something you've seen in your sort of tracking of the Finnish players overseas.
No, I mean Richard went on loan. I can't remember where to now from Aberdeen. But yeah, I'm not sure if there's an injury there. The ones that sort of stuck out as missing for me, if you like, is not necessarily whether I sounds awful, but not necessarily that I wanted them there. But yeah, the ones that were missing. I mean, we've been very familiar with our mate Ilmari Niskanen, who's sort of Markku Kaneva really liked him and wanted to use him quite a bit. He misses out. Um, we've got Urho Nisila, who was in the last squad, who's quite a classy player. He
Mm.
hasn't made it this time. And then also another one who was included in the last squad, but this is out this time, is Oni Valakari, who's now in MLS. As we said in a previous episode, did really well at AIK, but they couldn't make that move permanent. Went off to brand new franchise team in the MLS San Diego, and has really hit the ground running there. He's provided a couple of assists in their first couple of matches, and yeah, they're sitting top of their side of the conference of the MLS, or however that works. But yeah, so you know, there are a couple or two or three
Yeah.
that sort of you think, would they have made it? Could they have made it? Would they have been picked if it wasn't Jakob Friis? But yeah, you know,
Ilmari got himself in a little bit of bother in over in the UK, didn't he? So I wonder if
yeah,
that's had some impact on that. There's also quite a lot of players that have been kept down into the under 21s squad, and
yeah,
we will definitely be covering that during this summer because they've qualified for the under
yeah,
21 Euros, and players that have been called up to that squad for upcoming games in the next couple of weeks as well that have been in the main Huuhkajat team like Leo Valta, Casper Terho,
yeah,
um, Otso Limata maybe a little, Topi Keskinen,
mhm,
Thomas Galvez. There's quite a few there. You wouldn't necessarily think they'd all go straight into the first team, but they've been there or thereabouts. So there's probably a little bit of that going on at least until June, July time when that competition is finished. There was some discussion in the WhatsApp group about the value of keeping the players in the 21s or putting them up to the first team. What do you think about that?
I think they're right to keep them down in the 21s for the minute. I mean, they've they've got themselves qualified to that competition, and they want to give themselves the best possible opportunity to do well in that competition. Like they're the squad that got them there. Let's just keep them together for the competition. Obviously, like you said, Mark, a couple of them have had a taster of the men's national team, which is fantastic. They can see the pathway and the progression. They know that door has opened for them, and it's I'm sure this has been a discussion with the players, probably senior players, younger players, maybe even some of the coaching team. Like yeah, let's just take this squad as strong, under 21 squad, strong as we can to that Euro, and see what they can do. Um,
It's something
I'm pretty
something that's
sure
been
they'll be.
said. Sorry, mate.
Go on.
No, I would say something that's been said about the England age group teams is that players have come through and some of them have won at under 18s and under 21s. And I'm not saying Finland are going to go and win it, but actually getting that experience of tournament football at whatever
Yeah,
whatever level's got to be valuable, isn't it?
that's right. Yeah, completely. I completely agree. I think so. And if you can progress together as a team and mature together as a team, you know that the instinctiveness side of the game, where you can do those blind passes, or where your teammate is going to be. The longer you spend together in a team or a squad, surely that nurtures that.
Yeah, and it's also nice to see for me, obviously, and for the Ashiko fans that goalkeeper Roope Paunio has been called up as well because for a young goalkeeper, he's very good, very calm, commanding. I mean, at the start of last season, when we we lost yesterday to Hoyikor, and we were thinking, okay, who's the experienced keeper coming in, and then we got some like kids. They are kids.
Yeah.
They're my kids' age, and it didn't take long to realise that Rope is a decent keeper, and this gives me the great excuse to tell my anecdote from earlier this year because I received a phone call from an unknown number, and my company's calls come through to my phone, so I can't ignore them anymore. So I answered it, and someone spoke to me in Finnish, and I replied in Finnish, like, "Can you say that again?" So he said it again, and I was a bit like, "Hang on, am I understanding this right?" I said, "I'm sorry. Can you say that in English?" And he said, "Yeah, hi, Mark. This is Roope Paunio, the Asiko goalkeeper. All the players are getting together and contacting last season's season ticket holders who haven't renewed yet. So I'm just calling to see if you'd be interested in renew your ticket." Which is fantastic. And um, if it's kind of trying to convince supporters that, oh, the club's taking it seriously, or if it's giving the players a taste of, um, you know, the business of football.
Decent bit of marketing that.
Yeah, so I said, well, look, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I have already bought my ticket, so the records there are not quite up to date yet. But I said, but while I've got you, do you fancy coming on our
Yeah.
podcast? So yeah, that's he didn't get a commission off, but because I didn't buy one directly from him. But I spoke to him briefly after one of the Liga Cup games, and he's I think he's a dead cert for the SJK pod, and if he has a good summer in with the
Yeah.
Pikku Huuhkajat, then maybe we can have a chat with him as well. But yeah,
Nice.
keep going, Rope. So, Keke, what about the we always have this trouble, don't we, trying to preview games against these smaller international
No,
sides.
listen. I've had a little look. I mean, we say these smaller sides, but they're not too far away from us in the FIFA
Well,
rankings.
you say that. I mean, Finland are what? Well, I'm looking at FIFA rankings, because
Yep.
I do like the FIFA website, and Finland is 69, and Malta are
Hmm.
168.
Fair enough.
I mean, they're below Chinese Taipei and Bermuda and St. Lucia, so they're down there with all the islands. To be to be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah. Where in
um,
Lithuania?
they're a little bit higher, but not that much. They're sitting at 142.
Yeah.
So I think we
So
got to spread out eagle wings and be a little bit confident
we
about
do.
these couple of games.
I mean, yeah, I've had a little look at the opponents, and yeah, there's some guys. I mean, I wouldn't say any of them are household names from the Maltese national team or the Lithuanian national team, to be honest. But yeah, Lithuanians are playing at some clubs you'd recognise, Maribor and sort of places like that.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, the only club I recognised from any of the Maltese players was Burton Albion. So
Right. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, they've got a oh yeah, they've got a forward at Hibernians, not the Scottish one, that's the Irish one, I think. Um, but yeah, there's you know, oh, there's a guy in Poland at Stal Mielek, which has had a couple of Finns play
Hmm.
at through the
Hmm.
years. But yeah, as I said, there's not too many household names. So this is we Jakob Friis couldn't have wished for a better start, really, could he? Do you know what I mean? He's we've drawn Malta and Lithuania. Fair enough, they're both away games, but yeah, you can't say fairer than that. If he's if he wanted to be eased into it, these are the games he would have chosen, I think. And we have got to be looking, if we're serious about this business, we have got to be looking to be taking 6 points from this camp.
And then following that up with the two home games against the two strongest sides, and
Mm-hmm.
hoping that getting some momentum in those first couple of games, 6 points on the
Yeah,
on the board,
on the board.
and then make things difficult for Netherlands or Spain and Poland.
Yeah,
If you can come out of that with seven, can we even dream about 8 points? That would
well,
be,
8 would be fantastic. Yeah,
wouldn't it? Yeah, wouldn't it just? Um, before we and that's before the summer, and then we head into the games in September and onwards. So yeah, it's two games in March, two games in June. So there's a bit of a gap in the springtime there, and yeah, then we'll see. But
Helsinki in June, eh? What could be better? That'd be lovely.
Yeah, do you know there's often a game around that time, and that's the one that Sutter and I often make a little pilgrimage down to the Olympia Stadion, but booked a summer holiday, so that might put paid to a overnight trip. Let's see, especially as that game at the moment is showing as a quarter to 10 kickoff. No, no, I don't fancy going down and leaving the stadium at 12 and then what? Well, hotel, obviously. There's no getting home after that one. Um, but
But
let's see. We'll play that one by ear.
no, that's it. It was the games will be played at the Helsinki Olympic Stadium, which seemed to be a massive announcement as well. Yeah, Palolito were like, we confirm that these home matches for this qualifying campaign will be played at Helsinki Olympic Stadium. So I'm like, yeah, well, you seriously considering of playing them elsewhere? Don't know, but
Yeah,
they made
especially
a bit
against
of a
Netherlands or Spain. That's not going to be
yeah.
played in Bolt Arena, is it?
So yeah, they did make a bit of a deal about that, but yeah, that's been confirmed. And the other thing that came out of the press conference yesterday was sort of the names of Jakob Friis's coaching staff. So yeah, if you're interested, Mark and
Yeah, go on.
listeners, I'll just give you a little rundown. So
I was just keeping
yeah,
stum, so you'd have a chance to run through it, mate. Not like me.
so yeah, there's a guy called Lars Stensgaard. So, but you can't guess where he's from. He's Danish as well. So he's worked with Jakob Friis before. He's not taken up his position just yet, so he won't be involved for the first games in March. But he'll start his job with Palolito in July. Um, he's currently working as the head coach of the Danish under 19 men's team. So yeah, similar pathway to Friis, I guess. He's been at FC Nordjylland, Aalborg. He as I say works with Friis at Aalborg as assistant to Jakob Friis, so well known to him. So yeah, he's gonna join the staff. I think a lot of Finland fans will be pleased to hear that Tim Sparv has been kept on or is staying on. Obviously, also juggling his time with Sparta Prague,
Mhm.
but yeah, he stays as part of the national team setup. We spoke about it before. Sparta is an absolute legend and someone who I think a few of us have earmarked or are hoping to see in the dugout himself one day. But I think it's I think it's really, really important to keep some continuity with the squad, so a familiar face, someone who's been there and done it, knows what it's like, knows the weight of the shirt, has achieved. So I think knows the we spoke about with Rasmus before, whether the Finnish a knowledge of Finnish language or a knowledge of Finnish mentality would be an important thing. Rasmus suggested maybe not, but because all these guys are professionals and work all over the world. But you know, for me, maybe with my romantic spectacles on, I think to have someone as important as Sparv, a Finn who knows the Finnish mentality, who's, as I say, been there, done it. I think it's great that he's still part of the setup. Um, yeah, who else have we got? We've got Spanish guy who's currently working as a recruitment guy, a head scout of FC Inter. I can't remember his first name. That's embarrassing, but yeah, Almenera. So any FC Inter fans will be able to tell me who that bloke is. But he's worked at Honka. He'd been in South Africa with Orlando Pirates. But when I looked him up, he's been at a couple of clubs in Finland, not just Honka and Inter. He's been at a couple of places. So been buzzing around Finland for quite a while. And he comes. The literal translation was from Palolito was the special situation coach. So I don't know
Okay.
if that's like I don't know if that's like
Set
set
pieces,
pieces
surely.
or free kicks. Yeah, special situation. I quite like it. But yeah, so he's coming as well. And then yeah, a, a little bit of one that stung a little bit of sadness, is that Antti Niemi, after all these years, is will not continue as goalkeeper coach. Antti
Any
Niemi,
news why?
previous,
Any sort of suggestion why?
not really. Palolito have said they will name a new goalkeeper coach, but not yet. But for these first two matches in March, the Huuhkajat goalkeeper coach Ville Vollen is going to step in and take the role up for these two games in March only, and then after that, Palolito will name the permanent successor to Antti Niemi. But yeah, it was,
And
you know,
Antti Niemi is has worked regularly with Joaquin Gomez. So is and they're in. Oh, sorry, Kinney, I can't remember now where they
they
are.
they they they, they were recently in FC Volos, but
No,
that
he's
didn't.
moved on since then, and I want to say Philippines or Thailand or somewhere like that. So and occasionally Antiniemi's name pops up in posts
Mhm.
from Kinney, so it could be that he's working over there, or it might just be a change.
Yeah, I mean, Antti posted on his own social saying like, after all these years, he'd been proud, obviously, as a player, and has been part of the coaching setup for a long time. And it was quite a heartfelt post saying how he got to work with Radetzky from when he was so young, and Jesse Jornen when he was so young, and he's watched those guys grow up and mature not only as goalies but as men and people as well. So quite a heartfelt message from Antti, and yeah, there was plenty of replies from across the Finnish football world,
Mm,
from
mm.
fans and professionals, saying thanks for everything you've done, and obviously sorry to see that you won't continue. So, I mean, I can only guess, but it's I would have thought that Antti would have been happy to continue in that role. So maybe Jakob Friis has his eye on someone else, and time will tell.
Yeah, and we will have some football. I said before there's no games for the Huuhkajat after these first couple of qualifying games, but the Helmerit, the ladies team, do have some games coming up. So they've got a couple of these sort of traditional double headers. These are Nations League, Women's Nations League games. 4th of April at home to Belarus. 8th of April at home to Hungary, and then at the end of May away to Belarus, and then at the beginning of June home to Serbia,
Mm.
which
Just on just a bit of news on that. Was
mm,
it? I think I saw it right that Yle have decided that they won't show the games versus Belarus for political reasons.
really.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure I should have checked that, but I should have fact checked that in case I'm spreading fake news. But no, I'm pretty sure that that was announced. But yeah, if you want to watch those Helvetic games against Belarus, you need to watch via YouTube or whatever. You can see them, but yeah, Ule are not showing those.
That's interesting. Well, see if you can find me the story, Keke, and
Yeah, man.
I'll slip it into the notes below. And if it is fake news, I might put some kind of klaxon all over your misinformation.
Yeah,
Um, so last but not least, I suppose you're off to Malta next week.
I am. Yes, not
Uh,
been before. Had planned to go with my missus once upon a time. We did look at it as a holiday destination. We never made it, and now I'm off there with the lads to yeah to watch football. So no, looking forward to it, mate. Yeah, we've obviously fly in. I don't know how the boys, my friends from Uvascula and Helsinki are getting there. They've probably got like a 6 hour layover somewhere, but as is often the case with London, I get a nice direct flight
yeah,
straight to there is some advantages to living here. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I get a nice direct flight, which they're all jealous of, and we've even which we often do. We've hired a car in Malta, and I'm told by my mates that as in Malta they drive on the same side of the road as we do in England. I'm the designated driver.
Right, okay. They have seen you
So
drink
usually,
before, haven't
yeah,
they?
they have, yeah.
Yeah.
So usually my excuse is either too many beers or oof, don't know about this, lads. You driving on the other side of the
Yeah.
road can't handle it. But yeah, Ville told he checks it all out. Says that Malta driver on our side, so I'm the designated driver. So we'll see how that turns out.
What do you know about the stadium? I read the name of the stadium earlier, which is this
Yep.
Ta Qali
Hmm.
Stadium. What do you know about the stadium? How many people? What's the setup?
Yeah, no, I don't know a great deal, mate. I did have a look at the stadium map when I bought my ticket from the uh, the Maltese FA website, which reminded me of the old dial-up days of the internet. I'm not sure. I'm not sure they've had. I'm not sure they've updated it since then. To be honest, I was expecting
Ticketmaster
to hear
hasn't
that.
found its way to Malta yet.
You know that.
Yeah.
Dong dong. Now I was waiting for that because when you sort of logged on it all all due respect to the Maltese FA, but it did look a bit old school. But yeah, listen, no problems. Managed to log in, get my ticket, and yeah, we're off to Malta we go. But yeah, don't know too much about the stadium yet mate. But we've as arranged by Palolito and Poyoscare, we've been directed to purchase our tickets in the certain section that's been
Yeah.
reserved for the away fans. And yeah, again, my mate Ville messaged me today. He bought his ticket today, and he's got the sort of had a read of the terms and conditions. And there's yeah, Christ, the list of stuff you're not allowed to do and not allowed to say and not allowed to bring and all that is as long as you're armed. So we'll see if we don't end up behind Maltese bars. Let's hope not.
Was there one saying, "Do not drink, do not be under the influence of alcohol while in the stadium"?
No, listen. Well, I'm sure we'll have a couple of beers. Yeah, we'll see. I haven't even checked out what the local Maltese brew is, but yeah, looking forward to it, mate. As I say, never been before. Another stamp in the old passport. Yeah,
And how long are you out there for? You're flying Thursday and the game's on Friday.
yep. And then we come back Sunday evening. So
Nice. Okay.
after the match, we got a couple of days to explore. And yeah,
Yeah, very nice.
there's another little island called Gozo, which is just off of there. You can get a little boat trip around there. So yeah, we'll see what it takes us, mate. But yeah, I'll keep you updated.
Sounds good, and I'm sure we'll see a few pictures maybe on the Instagram as well for the
Definitely
listeners to see what you're up to. Um, I guess final thing, just to mention what we're going to try and do with the podcast this year. Plans are still coming together, but as I've
exciting plans.
well, hopefully exciting plans if they all come through. You know, there's a bigger group of us now that are kind of contributing in different ways. So all will become clear if and when it gets confirmed. But the basics are that during the Veikkausliiga season, I'm going to be making the SJK pod with Jules. Um, and making this one with Keke and Rasmus and Ali and whoever else is available from show to show. So to make my life a little less complicated, we're going to try and do alternate weeks. So rather than doing a Huuhkajat preview and then a match report after, and then a Veikkausliiga this and a Helmerit the other, just have a show every 2 weeks, and we'll kind of cover what's just happened and look forward to what's coming, whether it's international or Veikkausliiga as well. And then with Jules in the Seinäjoki pod, kind of do the same thing, but just focus on SJK Seinäjoki. So we'll look at the previous couple of games and look forward to the upcoming games. And I've been tapping up enough of those SJK players that we should have
Ah,
some guests coming on as well. They all seem quite
nice.
keen to take part, so that'll be good.
Speaking speaking of guests, Mark,
Mm.
we've got an appeal, haven't we? You need to find. We
Ah,
are
yeah,
looking for. Yeah, who
yeah.
are we looking for?
We're looking for fans. So what
Desperately seeking.
Susan. Um, I I thought it'd be a nice idea if at the start of the season, the Veikkausliiga season starts on the 5th of April, if we did a big preview pod. I've had these ideas before, but this time I've actually pulled my finger out my fundament and done something about it. And I want to just arrange to speak with a fan from each club and get their perspective on their teams. So 5 to 10 minutes from each team. If I get all the teams and I get 5 to 10 minutes, then there'll be episodes coming out every day of the week leading up to that. But at the moment, still waiting to hear back from a VPS Vasa fan. So if anyone else out there is a Vepsu fan that's happy to speak English to me or a non-Ashley Core fan, if that really is against your principles, but just come on and talk about your team and how you feel about this season. Same with Gnistan. I've reached out to Franz, who came on the pod last year, but haven't heard back yet. So we need a Gnistan fan, and then the two that I don't have any contacts is Oulu and Haka. I had a big contact in Oulu, but he moved to play in the Chinese second division. So Ashley Coffey is no longer any use to us in this situation. But if you're a fan of those clubs or you know someone who is, it can be a Finn, it can be a non-Finn. As long as you're happy to talk to us in English for 5 to 10 minutes, then it'd be good to hear from you. And that's how we're going to kind of really kickstart the Veikkausliiga season this year.
Nice.
And we should keep an eye out on your team, Keke. Try and get them back up there. It'd be nice to have Yi Core back in the bigger leagues as well.
Tell me about it. I remember those heady days of the Europa League qualifying rounds.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That's true. Well, I know Brian. So if you're listening, Brian, come on, do it for Keke. Make this hairy man happy.
Yeah.
All right, listener. That's enough. That's enough. It's very, very. I assume you're having a haircut before you go away.
I should do.
Yeah.
I might wear a hat. Told you, bucket hat weather.
That's true. It could be, couldn't it? All right, mate. I think.
Who are you? Bucket hats available from Zenit Sun Veteran. That's where it's all at, mate.
There you go. Very good. Thank you, Keke. That was another short one that went on for about 45 minutes, as normal.
Gosh.
You put us two with a microphone and the camera between us, and we're off.
Stop.
No, quite right. Have a great trip. Have a safe trip, and we'll be back after those games. And listener, until the next episode. Thanks for listening. Goodbye. You've been listening to the Finnish Football Show. You can find us online at finishfootballshow.com. Remember to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening or watching. You can follow the Finnish Football Show page and group on Facebook and also on Instagram. Escape to Suomi on Twitter is now Finnish Football Show on X. And you will find us on Blue Sky at Finnish Football Pod. See the links in the episode description, along with the links to the Finnish Football Show merch shirts.